In the Middle East, on this night, we see that a foreign power, the Romans, were in charge. The emperor called for a census. The governor of Syria, Quirinius, called for all the people to return to their place of origin and sign up for the census. This created a great movement of people, confusion, moving back and forth between different countries and towns. It was a very nomadic people there. Imagine all this traveling was done on foot. If you got 20 miles a day on foot, that would be a lot. That would be like, imagine walking to Washington. You really wouldn't get there in a day, hardly. And so, Joseph and Mary, who were specially picked by God, made out for Bethlehem. And when they got there, travelers what they were looking for a place in which to stay. Mary was in her 9th month, and they found no place until someone pointed them to a barn, a stable, behind some inn or house. And they got out of the cold, found a warm place, a quiet place, and Mary gave birth to her child. Imagine that almost mirrors today if we look at the Middle East, the confusion and turmoil going on. And that God, at that moment in history, picked a time of great confusion, great distress, to perform his greatest miracle ever in becoming or sending his son to become a man, a human being like one of us. Jesus Christ was God. God was love. God bestowed in a way his very love for all of us in that man who came to show every human being what it meant to love, what and how each of us could find a way to his Father through him, through the love, through relationships that we have with one another. If we look around the world today, the confusion, the violence, and everything going on, humanity in many ways hasn't changed. We certainly advanced technologically, knowledge-wise, we know a lot of things. But the way we act and what we do, not everybody has learned that lesson of love. We can see the turmoil today. We are touched and know what the violence is, but we see it in a two-dimensional way because we're not there. We see it from the comfort of our home and don't realize the real pain and suffering that people have. Yet Jesus told us to reach out, to love one another as he has loved us. Everybody can be reached with the love of God. Jesus conquered the world, but not in the way that conquerors do. He did not do it militarily. He did it by bringing men to his Father, one by one at a time. Each person and every person has a chance and a choice up to the moment that they die. Everybody can choose to love God, to love one another. Everybody at some point in their life has learned what love is and hopefully has learned how to reach out and learn to find God. We tonight, like Mary and Joseph, have come to a quiet place. We're not going to have a baby here, but we have Jesus here with us. The same Jesus born that night. And we have the time and the moment to ponder and ask him to show us the way, to keep us steadfast, and to help us be embraced by God's love.